Hey everybody, Mills RX here from the Ravens Minute Clinic, and we have a lot of updates today because it's a moving day, and the Ravens have to get the roster down to I believe 80 players. Before we get into that, I just want to say thank you all so much for the love and support that you've shown the channel recently, and just all together, thank you all so much. It's surreal how big this has gotten, and it's really nice to see that that you guys actually like the information that I've been giving you. Just the main point behind this is to just give supplemental medical information to the great reporting we see from Sarah Ellison, Jeff Cerebrick, Jameson Hensley, Jonah Schaefer, and other the Baltimore Sun. Just other things like that, just to give maybe a better idea or a deeper idea about how these injuries work, when they can potentially come back, and to the best course of action that the Ravens should take. But once again, thank you all for subscribing to Game Medicine and for just being great. Ravens have the best fans in the world, and you guys are awesome. Thank you all so much. Okay, so we had a lot of injury updates today. One, some good news. We Tyler Linderbaum returned to practice, which was really good. A lot of people were thinking he had a Liz Frank injury. I did as well, but it turned out to just be a mild foot sprain. He did overstretch a ligament in his foot that allows you to flex your foot. Like say if you're driving, if you press on the gas and if you let off the gas, that ligament right there that lets you flex your plantar flex and dorsiflex your foot like that, he had stretched that one out, but he's back. I think they'll do a ramp up period with him. He'll most likely play in the last preseason game, but I think he should have a ramp up period, and they shouldn't put him immediately into blocking drills or hit the sled, because that could re-aggregate the foot and keep him out a bit longer. Also, we saw Tylan Wallace back back in practice today too, which was good because he had a minor right knee sprain from from one of our preseason games, and it didn't look too good at the time. I initially thought it was MCL. It wasn't. It was another minor ligament in the knee that was just slightly overstretched, and also had a little bit of damage to it, but apparently wasn't too bad. That he was able to come back was great. So good to see him back. He was doing individual drills, and I expect maybe he'll play, but I think they'll hold him out just as a precaution. Now, I saw on Twitter a lot of questions about Ronnie Stanley. He remains on the PUP list. He has not been activated for it. You may have seen him on the sideline, but he has not been activated from the PUP list because his ankle is structurally better, which is good, but his conditioning isn't where it needs to be. He needs to get back, get his wind up, get his core strength built back up for a full football season. So yep. So he'll be out for a while. Hopefully not too long, because if he remains on the PUP list for week 1, he will transfer over to, I believe it's known as the reserve PUP list, or the reserve NFI, or reserve non-football injury list. Then that will keep him out the first 4 games. That's which wouldn't be good, but actually he may need the time to get back to where he needs to be, so that wouldn't be the worst thing. Also, Tyus Bowser is in the same boat as Ronnie Stanley, still on the PUP list, still recovering from that Achilles injury. So, yep, he's like Coach Harbaugh said. He just recently said that they're going really hard trying to get their wind back up, trying to get their conditioning back up. So hopefully they'll be ready for week 1. But if not, he too will revert to either the reserve PUP or the reserve NFI list, and he'll miss the first 4 games. Speaking of 4 games, we just heard that Gus Edwards has been placed on the reserve PUP list. Now, the PUP list that you see in camp is they would miss like a couple of days if they get it minor injury, stuff like that. This since we're getting close to week 1, this is known as the reserve PUP list, meaning they'll be placed on it's kind of like a mix of IR and the PUP list. So yeah, he's going to miss the first 4 games as he still recovers from the ACL tear. Now, his ACL has not progressed, and I've said this throughout the training camp and preseason. His ACL has not progressed to the level to which that the training staff thought. And his knee has still a little bit of instability in it. He's been doing individual drills, but he's still been looking kind of shaky because the knee is not completely locked in, because the ligament, mainly the ACL and the surrounding soft tissue around it, is still loose. Meaning, his PT regimen wasn't as rigorous as we thought. I mean, it was still good that he's able to get this far, but I believe our training staff will take over and give him what he needs so that his knee can get back to where it needs to be, and he'll probably come back. They say week 5, but I'd hold him out maybe till week 6, week 7, just to make sure his conditioning is where it needs to be and his knee is actually fully healed, or as close to fully healed as possible, so he can come back and get that RB2 role. Now, we saw J.K. Dobbins, who had a worse injury than Gus Edwards. He not only tore his ACL, he tore his ACL, sprained his LCL, and also had meniscus damage. But he came back, which was good because so maybe his PT was better than Gus's. We'll never know. But yeah, those are some. Yeah, that was some big news that we heard from there. We also cut we cut a lot of people. We got a lot of people to get the roster down to, I believe, 80. So we know, yep, we're getting close. We are getting so close to week 1. It's really exciting because it's just really cool that the season's about to start. And yeah, so I'm going to try to give you guys some more information as we move toward this and throughout the season. If there, God forbid, that there are no major injuries, but if there are, I'll try to provide you the information you need so that we can get so you can have a better understanding of it and a more realistic timeline about when they come back. Yeah. Yep. Travis Jones. His that hyper extended left knee is now official. He will miss. So he will miss 2 to 6 weeks. That they have is a bit vague, but I'd still stand by the 2 to 4 week guideline for a grade 1 knee sprain, even though it's just a hyperextension. But I still think it's 2 to 4 weeks. So yep, it's a game medicine, a bit of a longer video than normally because we had a lot of info to get out today. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Once again, thank you so much for all the support and love. You guys are awesome. Leave a like down below, comments, anything you like to see, you want to know more about, and I'll try to get to it. Thanks once again. Go Ravens, and have a nice night.